from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studio. It's the Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. We help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. You jump in, Chris. What's your name? George Camel, Ramsey personality, is my co-host. We don't even have a Chris that is a Ramsey personality. So is my co-host.
Call me anything
today.
But stupid, Dave.
Yeah, I'm not going to call you stupid. You're not on that list. Open phones today as we talk about your life and your money. 888-825-5225. Huge day here at Ramsey. You know something's different if I'm wearing a hoodie.
And I'm matching.
And we have matching hoodies. We're a boy band. Oh, God help us. Oh, that's awful. Well, the reason we're wearing hoodies is we are celebrating the launch today of the Ramsey Gazelle debit card. We have been working on this literally for 2 years, and millions of dollars has gone into it so far, and today is the official public launch. We are very, very excited about this. It is something we have dreamed about and thought about for a very long time. Why do we have a Gazelle debit card? Well, from the day that debit cards came out, I told you to get one. I have not carried a credit card in 3 decades. I carry 2 debit cards. You've heard the story. I have 4 pieces of plastic in my pocket. My debit card on my business, my debit card on my personal account, my driver's license, and my handgun carry permit. That's the entire thing in my wallet except green faces of dead presidents. And they're in there too. But we carry debit cards here. We use debit cards. We do not use credit cards at Ramsey. We teach people to not use credit cards, to have plastic surgery and chop up your credit cards. And we teach you that the debit card has the same fraud protections as a credit card. And we teach you will not overspend when you're using a debit card, because if you don't have money in your account, you will bounce freaking checks. So you use a debit card because you're a responsible human being. We teach you all of these things. I have carried a debit card since the day they came out. I've always had a Visa debit card or a MasterCard debit card. The particular bank we deal with now is a MasterCard company. So my personal accounts are with my personal banker, are MasterCards, and the Gazelle card, the bank that we're running it through, is a MasterCard debit card, and it's a World debit card. It is an absolutely fabulous graphic.
It looks amazing.
I mean, it's amazing.
I've never seen a cool-looking debit card.
Really, I mean,
the
they're
team
really
accomplished that.
Or credit card.
It was a low bar.
Yeah, it was fairly easy to beat the competition on that. So, but this one, no fees, no gotchas. We're not going to run commercials of pretty people like freaking SoFi and try to make you think we love you and then screw you, which is what they do. We love you, and then we don't screw you. Go figure.
Wow.
We don't take advantage of you.
We're
not going to send you a bunch of ads for a bunch of home equity loans. We're not going to sell your name to other people and go, oh, you can sell these people debt. You can sell these people debt. See, that's what debit cards are for most banks. They're loss leaders that they use to get people on the hook.
It's the gateway drug, Dave.
It's the gateway drug.
That's how they get you in.
It's the opener. Well, this isn't a gateway drug. It's the beginning and the end.
I love
it's right
it.
there. It is a complete debit card process, fully online, fully FDIC insured, fully fraud protected, just like any good MasterCard debit card is. And it is a Gazelle card. But the best part about it of all is when you use it, people are going to go, wow, that's cool.
What is that?
What are you doing? And you go, man, I'm Gazelle intense. I'm getting out of debt. I'm wise with my money. I'm not spending like I'm in Congress. You are signaling other people that you are a financial freaking adult.
And an unintentional effect is that when you go to swipe, you kind of think, you see the Gazelle on there, and it reminds you of, hey, I want to do this the Ramsey
Gazelle,
way.
He's not a little wimpy Gazelle. I mean, he's got attitude. I mean, look at him. He's got right there.
I'm
on
not
my
messing
shirt.
with him.
He's a dude, man. I mean, he's got style. We talked about putting a little red eye in there, so he looked like a devil, but he looked like a devil beast.
Yeah,
so
it
we
looks
didn't
like a
do
horn.
that. Yeah, but man, this is not a Gazelle that's scared.
No,
this is a Gazelle that's getting her done.
It's intense,
you know, and so good stuff. So the Gazelle debit card is out there. There are already thousands of people using it because we run it through beta tests and everything else, and to make sure everything's working before we go public today. George and I have done 10 interviews this morning on television stations around the nation, including Fox and Friends this morning, announcing this launch. We've been up since 4 a.m. doing this stuff. I need coffee. But the man, I'm telling you, this is an incredible product. It makes a statement about who you are. We're not going to get you with fees. It's got all the same protections, and you ought to try it out.
Oh, absolutely. And if you're an EveryDollar user, seamless integration with EveryDollar, because we own both experiences there. And so there's some really cool features that the team is continuously going to be working on to make this better and better.
Like it's really, really fast how fast you're charged when you run the card, how fast it shows up in your EveryDollar app. Really fast.
One of the best features.
Since we're the people that, like you said, we got both of these digital things going on, and we have digital geniuses in this building. You and I are not one of those.
Don't put us in
we
charge.
have them here, and we know that they do stuff. We're not sure what stuff they do, but the stuff they did allowed those two things to talk.
Yes.
EveryDollar and the Gazelle card.
And can you be clear, Dave? We are not a bank. We are not becoming a bank. We
No.
are partnering with
We're not
Pathward
going to
NA
get you into
behind the
that.
scenes.
Or this begins and ends here. It's a process for spending and saving the Ramsey way. And for you stupid butt people on social media, you stupid butt trolls. Dave Ramsey's in his MasterCard. Dave Ramsey's got a MasterCard debit card in his pocket for 25 years. So shut the flip up. Okay? You stupid butt people. It's not inconsistent. I didn't sell out. There's nothing different here. And I've always told you use debit cards. And a lot of debit cards have cash back, like not cash back, savings. You can go in, like, if you use it at, this one is what, Starbucks is one of the ones, or whoever. I don't even know what these are.
Give you,
There's a
5%
huge long
back.
list of companies that when you use it there, you'll get a discount.
And that's through our partner at NetSpend.
Yeah,
And the back end.
NetSpend is the bank behind this, the banking process behind this, and they already had all that set up, so you get the savings on that stuff, but we're not trying to get you to spend money to save on your stupid coffee. That's not the idea. The whole idea is to do all the stuff we've been teaching you all along. We didn't change a thing. We're just giving you a better way to do it. So, and if you don't like that, troll your butt off because you're an idiot, okay? That just goes, but that's what trolls are. They're idiots in general anyway. So just keep it up, people. Just keep it up. Yeah, MasterCard. And I'm going to keep calling you idiots, too. I'm beginning to think almost anybody on social media is, but I'm not ready to go quite that far because I still check Instagram.
Well, you're on there too, Dave. So
I know they put me on there, but I'm not on there. And I'm certainly, let me tell you how many times I have commented negatively on someone on social media
0.
other than Twitter. On someone else's thing other than on Twitter. Now, I've gone back at people on Twitter.
You used to have fun
I used to
back
have
in the
these
day.
Twitter fights in the old days. That was a lot of fun. Back when Twitter was cool. Twitter's completely devolved now. It's devolved into a sewage pit. But the number of times I've gone on someone else's Instagram account and posted negatively, precisely 0.
Means you
the
have a
number of
life.
times I posted a negative book review on anyone's book ever, precisely 0. I've told people in private, don't read it, it's trash. But I'm not going to go out there. I don't have time to do that. I have a thing called a life.
We're launching products out here, folks.
That's it. We're helping people with stuff like the new Gazelle debit card. A good reason to wear stylish hoodies.
Cool hoodies. RamseySolutions.com/Gazelle.
Stylish hoodies. Got Gazelle on the sleeve.
Rocking it.
Man, not something I would have designed, but something I get to wear. Makes me look 25 years younger. This is The Ramsey Show. I say it all the time. If you're a business owner and you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business. And when markets are shifting, it's even more important. You've got to know where you stand so you make your next move the right move. And you don't have to be in the dark here. Over 31,000 businesses, including my team at Ramsey, know their numbers because they use NetSuite by Oracle, the #1 cloud financial system. NetSuite gives you visibility and control of your financials, planning, budgeting, and inventory so you can manage risk, get reliable forecasts, and improve margins. Having everything in one place has saved my team hours each week since we made the switch to NetSuite. NetSuite is a game changer. So head on over to netsuite.com/Ramsey to get a product tour today. That's netsuite.com/Ramsey. Thank you for joining us, America. George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. We just returned from Dallas. All the Ramsey personalities and Pastor Craig and Amy Groeschel were speaking all day long at the SMART conference in Dallas. I think it was our best SMART conference ever. George, you did a great job on stage.
Oh, thank you.
Funny, fun, entertaining, informative, and inspiring. All the stuff you needed to be. Well done.
I appreciate that. All the personalities had amazing talks across so many areas. I mean, from career to mental health to relationships to money. I mean, people left in tears. They were laughing. They were crying. And I hope there's a lot of lives transformed.
Absolutely. Good stuff. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Betsy is with us in Asheville, North Carolina. Hi, Betsy. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, thanks so much for taking my call, and I'm absolutely going to get a Gazelle card.
Well, thank you. Woo, woo, woo. I love it. How can we help today?
Yeah. You've changed my life, but I think it might be too late for me, and I needed to kind of tell you that I've been more fortunate than a lot of people. I've blown through many thousands of dollars. I've had big chunks of money from various things, inheritances, whatever. And basically, I am 66 years old. I sold my business 4 years ago for $200,000, and I sold a house. I'm now renting very cheaply, and I have about $200,000 still, and I'm living on $600 to $700 a month because I live very cheaply. But I wanted to give you the numbers and have you laugh at me and say, no, you're not going to make it. Because my core values are freedom and independence. And it petrifies me to think that I won't have financial, stability. And I'm unable to work because of a neurological condition where I can't be upright very often. So should I just give you the numbers?
Yeah, that's fine. Sure.
Okay. I invested $100,000 a year ago in a local commercial lender. They do alternative lending to people that don't go through traditional banks, and that's a guaranteed 8% a year. So that $100,000 has turned into $108,000. I put $45,000 into Vanguard last year when I first found you guys, and it's down to $38,000. Of course, I'm not selling it, but that hurts. It's basically a wash on what I made from the other investment. I have my IRAs are about $17,000, and my cash is about $19,000. Mm-hmm. So somewhere between, I don't know the add up of that, but I go through my expenses and my budget every month, and I say, okay, $600 a month divided by, or $18,000 divided by $600 a month. Oh, good. I can live 24 more months on that before I have to tap into my investments. But am I just living a pipe dream? Am I going to be if I can really stick to a budget?
Are you not collecting Social Security?
Oh, that I don't even include that because that actually pays my rent. It's a wash. I get $1,000, I pay $1,000. So basically, I spend $600 out of my savings a month, 6 to 7 out of savings.
I see. Okay.
And my Social Security will be going up, of course, but And
you're making $8,000 on one investment, and the other investment, because the market's down, is down right now.
Yes.
Okay. And tell me again what you put in Vanguard again.
I put $45,000 in. I put $15,000 in the what's the one that you have a minimum of $15,000, like the silver or the I've got some word for it. Is in that, and $30,000 is.
So you only have $150,000? I thought you told me you had $200,000.
No, I have almost 200. I have 108 plus the original 45.
Right.
Let's just call it that.
Yeah.
And then in my savings, I've got 19.
Oh, I see.
And
for
in
your
my
emergency
IRA,
fund. For your emergency fund.
Yeah, and my IRAs, I've got 1,700.
Okay.
I mean, 17,000.
Okay.
And I'm trying to see if I can live on $600 to $700 a month and stretch it out till I'm I'm 66. So, I mean, I don't want to get married.
Did
I don't want to be in a situation.
5'6" or 6'6"? You're
6'6".
What?
I'm 66.
66. That's what I heard the first time. Okay.
I'll be 60.
Good.
Yeah, I'll be 67 next month.
Okay. All right. Well, yes, you're going to make it, and no, it's not a pipe dream, and no, it's not all come to an end. It's the worst possible year to have this conversation with Vanguard going the wrong direction, which is an unusual thing. I don't know exactly what you put that in, but if you're just in a good growth stock mutual fund, it would be down this year. The market's down, and most years it's up. It's an unusually bad economy that we're in, and a lot of reasons for that, but that's not the purpose of this call. So,
right. And I'm hoping by next year we see a turnaround.
Yeah, because I'm going to go early vote this afternoon just to make sure we do. But but anyway, well,
Can I just insert one more thing?
Sure.
I come from a family of such spenders that it's really hit me this month that I've still been spending too much, and so now I'm
$600 a month is too much?
No, I spent $2,000 in September.
Oh, so you're not sticking to your budget?
I am now.
Okay,
but no.
Okay.
That's
well,
why
I mean, whatever budget you set, you have to put that into your projections, and then if you don't stick to it, you screw up your projections.
Right.
So that's a third variable that you've added now. And yeah, I will say you got to do that, or you whatever. I mean, because I don't care if you make $50,000 a month and you spend $60,000, you still got a pipe dream, right?
Definitely.
So that's the thing. So I would tell you this: I want you to sit down with a SmartVestor Pro and stir this portfolio a little, and see if we can't make it do a little better over the long haul.
Okay.
I don't know that it would do better on the short haul. If you had done what I told you to do, like with the money, if you'd done that 2 years ago, you might be worse off right now than you are right now, because the market's down, and I'm 62, and I'm 100% invested in the market. I mean, in terms of I hadn't pulled anything out, but in a little different situation. So yeah, I think sitting down with SmartVestor Pro, sticking to your budget, then lay your projections out. But I think overall, you probably can do better than either one of these investments, but not a ton. And then the third thing I would tell you is this: I had a perfectly normal conversation here with you for 3 or 4 minutes, 5 minutes. So there is some things you can do.
Even if it's just a few hours a day or a week.
Even if it's just finding something online that you sell stuff on eBay, whatever it is you're able to do with the limitations that you have with the medical process you're facing, I'm still going to find something I can do because here's the thing: if you add $1,000 a month to this by working 5 hours a week doing something online, or on the phone or something. You change this situation dramatically. $1,000 a month changes your whole math picture with the numbers you're giving me, because they're so small. And so I'm going to think about what you can do within the limitations. I'm not trying to say you've been lazy or something. You're certainly not that, but you're very articulate, very quick, very intelligent on the phone. So that means there's things you can do.
Yeah. And if this year you were able to live off $8,000, maybe with compound interest, next year we shoot for $9,000 and then $10,000. And over the next 10 years, as the money continues to grow and you continue to live on a budget, we can make this work. But right now, it might be tight for this year.
Yeah. But overall, is there hope? There's hope because you're breathing, and there's hope because you're paying attention.
It's not too late.
And if you pay attention and you keep breathing, then you're there. So I met this lady the other day that's 100 years old. 100 years old. Sitting in a rocking chair on her porch. She's a neighbor to a farm I own. And I said, "So what's your secret? How do you live to be 100? She grinned and she said, "Don't stop breathing."
That is 100-year-old lady humor right there.
Oh, it's 62-year-old guy humor too. I cracked up, man. I laughed all the way home. This is the Ramsey Show. Look, I love real estate, and I want you to have a house, but I don't want a house to have you. That's why you need to get in touch with Churchill Mortgage to make sure you do this right. These guys are awesome. They'll help you get on a smarter mortgage plan because they're committed to doing what's right for you. That means they check in every year with free consultations to help you stay on the right plan. They show you how to save money and interest so you can build wealth faster. They walk you through the total cost of your loan so you can make the best choice. Basically, they care. That's why we call them Ramsey Trusted. You can achieve debt-free home ownership, and Churchill is here to help. Go to their site, churchillmortgage.com/Ramsey, to start your approval or get more information. George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. We are wearing matching Gazelle hoodies, celebrating the launch of the new Gazelle debit card, brought to you by Ramsey. It is a MasterCard debit card. Check it out at RamseySolutions.com/Gazelle. In the lobby of Ramsey Solutions is quite a few folk, so a couple of hundred looks like, and two of them are on the debt-free stage, which can only mean one thing.
Debt-free.
James and Kat are joining us for their debt-free scream. Welcome, guys. Good to have you.
Hey, Dave.
Hi.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Where do you guys live?
We live in Luverne, Alabama, just south of Montgomery.
Oh, cool. Welcome to Nashville. All right. How much debt have you guys paid off?
We have paid off $80,000 in 21 months.
Good for you. And your range of income during that time?
We ranged from 85 starting out. We went up to about 150, and we're back down to about 125.
Cool. What do you guys do for a living?
I'm a hyperbaric safety director. I also work part-time with the volunteer fire department in my local area.
And I'm an ER nurse.
So who worked their butt off? Because somebody doubled your income.
That would be me.
That would
That
be
was her.
the ER nurse. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unlimited hours these days, right?
Yes,
sir.
it is.
Continues to be a nursing shortage.
Always will be.
Yeah, I think there will be. You're right. And COVID mandates and crap makes it even worse because people bailed out. Yeah, wow. Good for you guys. Well, way to go. What kind of debt was your $80,000?
Dave, it was all normal. It was had a truck, tractor, lawnmower, and we had some student loans that we had to pay off, as well as some credit cards.
Okay. So it sounded like a lot of it was you. A truck, a tractor, a lawnmower. That doesn't sound like she's the problem.
No, I'm
was,
not.
That was 100% mine.
Unless she's collecting tractors.
I mean, you never know these days.
That's true. But, no, the student loans are all mine.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yes.
that balances it out. All right.
Was that the big one? Please tell me it wasn't the lawnmower.
No, the lawnmower was about $5,500.
Yeah.
Definitely the
The student loans are the worst.
I love it. Very cool. How long y'all been married?
Almost 3 years.
Okay. So what happened a year into marriage and you said, okay, in the next 2 years we're cleaning up this dadgum mess. We're going to get Gazelle intense.
We decided to have a child. It was a little bit of a surprise.
Okay.
I have a 19-year-old and an 18-year-old, so we kind of started all the way back over. And I made a lot of sacrifices when they were young because of poor financial decisions. So I decided I didn't want to do that with the new child. So we kind of listened to Dave Ramsey. I'd heard about it multiple times, but I'd never met anyone who had actually stuck to the plan and was actually successful. And then, we talked about it. And at first, I was not 100% on board, of course. I'm very much one of those instant gratification kind of people. And but I didn't want to make the sacrifices. I wanted to spend time with the new child and not, have to, miss out on all the school events and stuff like that. So we sat down and made a budget, and we stuck to it. And it was not easy.
No, it's not easy.
It was not.
Was it
But
worth it?
Yes,
100%.
100% worth it.
What did you sell?
We did not sell anything.
Good.
Believe
Okay.
it or not, we didn't sell
did
anything.
not.
You just buckled down on the old lifestyle
Yes.
Yes,
and kicked in the hours.
Absolutely.
Work like no one else so later you can work like no one else.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Hebrews
Wow.
12:11. That's what we wanted to do, so that's what we did. I did want to try to sell my truck. It hurt, but nobody really wanted to give me what it was worth, so I said, well, let's just go ahead and pay this thing off, and I'll have it for a while.
There you go.
That's incredible. So what was the biggest sacrifice you guys had to make along the way?
Spending time together. We we had the child, and we decided that we were not going to pay, anywhere from $400 to $600 a month for daycare. Instead, we could throw that money onto debt and maybe accelerate spending, paying off the debt faster. So we actually work opposite schedules of each other, and we have for the last almost 3 years now.
Whoa.
He works Monday through Friday, and I work weekend nights.
Wow.
So this is our first family vacation.
Yeah.
All together, as all 5 of us together.
Yeah.
So this
And now
kinda
you can
means a lot
change
to
that,
us.
though. Now you
Yes.
can set things up in a more normal rhythm, because that was your reason for doing it.
That's the
was to
biggest
get-
reason,
yeah,
yes.
to get the family in balance.
A baby's a great fresh start to go. Let's do
Absolutely.
things differently with this one.
Well, I had heard about, your principles back in 2014 or 16, I believe. And I tried to jump on it. I was a single man at the time, and I don't know if I just wasn't paying attention or just didn't want to do it, but it just didn't stick. So when I found out that I had a child on the way, I said, well, I don't like where we're at financially. I know babies are expensive, diapers are expensive, so we need to fix it. So
Yeah.
I said, well, the only thing I had heard of that worked was Dave Ramsey. So I went back and I started reading up on it, started, kind of buying into it. And then I went to her, and she was a little hesitant at first. So I said, I tell you what, if you stick with me, if we do this together like we're supposed to, then at the end, we'll go on a week-long family vacation together. And she said, okay, I'm in now. So here we are.
You
And
bribed her.
I did
All
bribe
right.
her.
Bribing works. I'll go with bribing. Bribing's good.
So we came up Friday night. We stayed here in Nashville, or actually here in Franklin. And today, after we leave here, we're going to head to Gatlinburg, and we're going to stay in the cabin until next Monday.
Oh, wonderful. And perfect timing with the leaves changing over there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, way to go, guys. Very cool. Very cool. I'm proud of you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How's it feel?
It feels great.
free.
It's like a heavy weight's lifted off your shoulders whenever you get done. I mean, you still have to stick to a budget, otherwise you'll find yourself going right back into debt. But it's a very, very good sense of relief. As, for example, when we got up here, we had an issue with our truck and actually had to put it in the shop.
Of course.
But it wasn't really that stressful because we have an emergency fund that is set aside specifically for instances like this. So we enjoyed our few days while the truck's in the shop. We had an extra car up here with us because the kids are going back today. So we didn't really stress about it too much.
All right.
We enjoyed our time together, and then today we went and picked up the truck. It
Game
wasn't
on.
that big of a deal because we stuck to the plan and we had an emergency fund set to the side.
That's incredible. And now you're building for the future instead of paying for the past. That
Absolutely.
changes your posture.
An
It's
emergency
incredible.
fund turns a crisis into an inconvenience. Just like we said in FPU. Go figure.
That's exactly what I told her, too.
Way to
And
go,
You just
guys.
yawn and go, okay, car's in the shop, whatever,
Yeah, we'll just go get another one.
instead of freaking out.
Way to go, you guys.
You guys are incredible.
Well done. Very well done.
you.
So proud of you. Good stuff. What do you tell people the key to getting out of debt is?
Commitment.
commitment, for sure. I'd like to say that owning your situation probably is the biggest thing for me, because I was the one that went out and got the loan on the truck. I was the one that decided to get the lawnmower. I was the one that decided to do these things to get ourselves into debt. It wasn't my friend down the road. It wasn't my parents. It wasn't my best friend. So I decided, hey, it's time to pull the bootstraps up, do what I have to do to provide for my family. And that's what we did.
If I'm the problem, I'm also the solution.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, well done. Very, very well done. And you know what happened? The difference in when you tried it before or your friends tried it before and this time was you had a big why. You had a big enough reason.
why.
You got to have a big why. And if you got a big enough why, you can do almost anything. So, well done, you guys. Excellent job. All right, let's bring the kiddos up. I want to introduce all of them. In the meantime, I'm going to let you know we've got the Live and Give Bundle, it is called. A 1-year membership to Financial Peace University, the Every Dollar book, or the Baby Steps Millionaires book. There's not an Every Dollar book, and the Total Money Makeover book. So 2 books and a 1-year membership. You can use those yourself, give them away or whatever. It all comes in a nice, tidy box we'll send home with you. So way to go. So the kids' names and ages.
This is Gabriel. He's 19. This is Katie. She's 18. And Quint, he is 2.
All right. Way to go, Quint. All right. I love it. I love it.
Hey, Dave, real quick, one thing. I wanted to point out that both of our children here, our older children, are going through school debt-free.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Very good. Okay, lots of lessons learned here. Family tree has changed.
Forever.
Definitely
Already.
has.
Well done, you guys. All right, James and Kat, Quint, Gabriel, and Katie, Montgomery, Alabama area, $80,000 paid off in 21 months, making 85 to 150 to 125. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
All ready? 3, 2, 1.
We're debt-free! Yeah! Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! This is how it's done, ladies and gentlemen. Life happens, gives you a little wake-up call, and you go, I'm going to answer the phone.
The best part of life is you can just decide to change. I think that's cool.
It's powerful. Powerful. We are still free. At this moment in America, you're still free to decide. This is The Ramsey Show. George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. We're wearing the matching Gazelle hoodies because today is the launch of the Gazelle debit card by Ramsey. Completely free, no fees of any kind. You're going to love this. And we're not going to try to sell you a bunch of debt because we're not SoFi. We're not NerdWallet. We're not going to try to sell you a bunch of crap. We're just is what we is. It's a debit card. That's all it is. And it's got all the fraud protections that a MasterCard debit card has. It's got all the same features. Be sure and check it out at RamseySolutions.com/Gazelle. Chad is with us. Chad is in. I probably messed that up. I'm rusty from not being on the air here. Chad's in Minneapolis. Hey, Chad, how are you?
Very good. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
So, quick backstory. Divorced in 2018. Kind of found your program, paid off $60,000 worth of debt over a course of 2 years. Last year, met a new woman, and we were married here a couple weeks ago.
Congratulations.
So, yeah, thank you. So my question is my annual income is right around $150. I've got life insurance of about about 1.6, 1.7 million. And just looking to, if anything happened to me, I know for a fact that my ex-wife would go out of her way, because she's difficult and that's kind of her nature, is to ensure that there's no relationship between my current wife and my 4 children that I share with my ex-wife. So I want to make sure that I'm kind of taking care of my kids, but also taking care of my current wife if something were to happen to me. I know I can break that out, but I under no circumstance would I put the life insurance for the kids in my ex-wife's name, but in a trust. But is there a good split? Is that a 50-50, a 60-40?
Yeah, it's just difficult, isn't it? I'm sorry. Sorry you're going through this. How old are your babies?
15 to 7.
Okay. What I would do is just split off the 2 issues. And how much does it take to make sure your kids are okay if you left that money in a trust managed by someone you could trust, thus the name trust, for the good of your children? Okay? And set that amount in life insurance in that. And then what does your current wife need if something happens to you? And set that amount of insurance in her name. If that happens to total up to be the amount of insurance you have now, then you have your percentages when you back into them, right?
Right.
And if you need more, then you can just get more.
Yeah, right. I know that my current wife, she would drastically would want to. She would want to move. She would want to reduce her lifestyle.
No, that's not the point. The point is you answer the question. What do you want? What kind of situation do you want to leave her in? And you create that number. And I always just use 10%. It's a very easy number. Okay, you can use 8%, whatever. And so if you want to leave her with $80,000 a year, you need to leave her $1 million.
Right.
If you want to leave her half that, then half that. Same with the kiddos.
Right.
Okay, and then you determine on the trust for the kids. Obviously, you decide who's going to be the trustee, who's going to manage this money, and I'm going to pay out the equivalent of child support monthly. Will be one of the terms of the trust, maybe a little more. I'm also going to make that trust money at the behest of the trustee available for a portion of a first car for any major medical problems and for college. And then when they reach a certain age, their portion will be released to them. And you can decide that age. Graduating college is not unusual. 25 is not unusual, and those kinds of things. But in no case does the ex have any control over the flow of money except the amount that's coming to her monthly in the form of child support replacement.
Right.
Okay.
Now, would a trust have to be formed prior to my death?
No, you need to go have an estate plan done, a will done, and as a part of that, there's a family trust that can be developed that only activates in the event of your death.
Right.
Okay, and then you name that trust, the Chad Trust, and then you make a percentage of your life insurance beneficiary to the Chad Trust. And you got who's going to be the trustee, dude?
Right, but the question would be on I have to list out the beneficiary.
Yeah, you can just put if you got $1.6 million, you can put a percentage to the trust and a percentage to your ex.
But the trust wouldn't be formed. But the trust wouldn't be formed until after my death.
But it doesn't have to be. That you still name the trust, and the trust is formed only if you die. Now, here's what's probably going to happen. It's what happened to me anyway. I did all of that. My kids grew up. That trust was never made. It never was used because I didn't die while they were minors. Mm-hmm. And so as
you had an age limit on it.
Yeah, as the last one hit 21, I did away with that portion of my will and changed all my beneficiaries to be Sharon, because once they're 21, you on your own, baby. So you don't need life insurance from daddy. So, it changed it all, right?
Because they don't rely on your income anymore.
Exactly. They're not dependent on me. I'm no longer responsible for buying their shoes. They are. And so, thank God, considering some of the shoes Rachel buys. But
I thought it was going to be Daniel.
But anyway, all kidding aside, but you'll outlive this more than likely, right?
Right.
And it all becomes for nothing. And then you'll change the beneficiaries at that point. And by then, probably you're going to have built enough wealth, you may be even dropping all of this life insurance. You might have $2 million in your mutual funds, and you're going to leave some of that in inheritance to them, some of that to your current wife, and that's all there is. There's no life insurance at all. And that trust that would have been formed upon your death for the care of your minor children never occurred because they grew up before you died.
Mm. So for most people, we say, hey, a will is enough. At what point do you go, all right, you might need to look into
a will with a trust for minor children is necessary. Sharon and I had that in case of both Sharon and I dying. That would have had to have occurred because we were married still. We weren't exes, right? And so, if either one of us died, it didn't activate. Only if both of us died. Because I trusted her to manage the money for the kids, but he can't give that to his crazy ex.
Yeah, it's a complicated situation.
Yeah. So it changes the dynamic a little bit. But the last thing we want to do is fund crazy, right? With $1 million. Here's $1 million, crazy. That'll help you. That'll make you sane, right? Not just makes you crazier. But yeah, that stuff. So
I'm glad he's thinking about this because most people don't even have a will. They're not even thinking about this stuff.
You're right. 78% of Americans die without a will, which is dumber than a rock. Okay, because you leave everybody behind you that you said you loved in a mess.
In your wake, just dealing with
even if you've only got like a car and $10,000 in your checking account, you need a will.
Yeah, people think, well, I have to be a multi-millionaire to get a will in place.
You need a will. You need to go to Mama Bear Legal Forms and get a will. And you can, these little trusts, these little family trusts like I'm talking about, and you can put terms in there very easily like I just dictated. I even dictated in mine back in the day that it went into the 4 types of mutual funds.
Wow.
The trustee had to put it into those 4 types because I didn't want some judge going, oh, it has to be in CDs, certificates of depression. You know, because, I mean, what if you had your money in CDs with a 9.8% inflation rate and you're making 1% on your money? You know, what do you call
not the legacy
what kind of Bidenomics do you call that? You know, that's bass-ackward right there. You're running backwards. So you don't want to do that. So I want the kids plugged into something that's going to work there. So I had even the 4 types that had to be invested in that. And the income off of that was to do this. And the rest of the income was to continue to grow. And, you know, we just dictated out. It really isn't that long. You just kind of have to think about the different things that you want the thing to do.
So you have to be intentional with it.
Yeah.
Just like every other area of your life. Look how that works.
But I'll tell you what, here's what's very interesting. There's a high correlation between people that build wealth and people that pay attention to these types of things that involve managing wealth. So there's a high probability Chad in Minneapolis is going to be a wealth builder. There's a high probability of that. Not only is he a dad that cares about taking care of his kids, not only is a husband takes care of his current wife, but he's also thinking about the subjects of how I'm going to do that. This guy's a stud. He's a stud. Well done, Chad. This is the Ramsey Show.
Do you love a good Dave rant? Want to see the latest Ramsey Show videos going viral? Check out your favorite moments from the Ramsey Show on YouTube. Go watch and subscribe to the Ramsey Show channel on YouTube.
From the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studio, it's the Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. We help people build wealth, do work that they actually love, and create real, amazing relationships. This is a show about you and your life. George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. The phone number is 888-825-5225. No, George and I are not strange, wearing matching hoodies. We are celebrating the launch of the Gazelle debit card. Right there it is, baby, the Gazelle debit card. And I just came out from Ramsey. It is the debit card that does not try to get you into debt. It is fully protected by the FDIC and MasterCard's normal fraud protection programs, which is as good as any credit card you could get out there for any of those things. And this thing is absolutely amazing.
And it's better than a credit card.
Because it really looks good.
And you can't go into debt with it.
Makes a statement that says, I am smart with money. When you pull this out, people go, that one's smart with money. I mean, because people that means you don't use credit cards, use a debit card, which is what we do, it's what we teach, it's what I've always done. And I've always had a Visa or a MasterCard debit card. So having a MasterCard or a Visa debit card that I offer is not inconsistent for you trolling idiots out there, just to make sure you know what's up. And hey, that's the thing, man. So check this out. No fees. No fees. No, we're not going to send you pretty commercials with pretty people sitting around talking on a little couch.
Wow, is that a personal attack, Dave? I'm pretty?
No, it's SoFi commercials. They piss me off because they make it look like they love you, and they're actually trying to absolutely screw you with their awful debt. You know, the average credit card debt in America at the rate, here's how much the banks love you. In the most inflationary period, the roughest economic situation from an inflation viewpoint we've had in 40 years, what did the credit card companies do? They raised the average rate on a credit card from 18 to 22%. Well, it's inflation, right? I mean, you got to go up with inflation, right? You got to go up on that. Let me tell you what the interest rate is on this. 0, not 1, because you can't borrow money on it, stupid. It doesn't work that way with a debit card, okay? And no fees. Did I mention that there's no fees? No, we're not going to sell your name, and we're not going to try to. I was just in here deleting an email. George watched me do it from some app on my phone that I forgot to check the stupid little box, and they sent me a bunch of marketing crap, and that I didn't want. And we're not going to do that. We're not going to wear you out with a bunch of trying to get you in debt, because if you get a debit card with a bank, you know what? It's a loss leader for them with a traditional bank. They're just they're doing that just to hook you because they want to be able to get your name and they want to sell it and they want to sell you stuff. Jonathan starts off this hour in Washington, D.C. Hey, Jonathan, how are you?
Doing well. How are you guys doing?
Better than we deserve, sir. What's up?
I'll lay it out pretty quick for you here. About 5-6 months ago, I joined an accounting firm of about 6,000 people. Starting salary was $90,000, plus I'd get bonus. Recently, organically received an offer for $135,000 for a 100-person firm. So it'd be a pretty big jump, but my loyalty aspect of myself makes it hard to leave. I mean, ultimately, I think I'm leaning towards that side of things, but wanted to get y'all's thoughts on that and also potentially how to break that to my current employer.
Okay. More importantly than a few $1,000s, where do you want to be working in 20 years? Because a lot of people who get an accounting degree, if they land a job where you landed a job, strut around like they did something. They're all excited that they got to join that big firm. It's like a prestige thing, like you bragged about it.
Yeah, for me, it was just table setting. I really want to be a partner. I want to be part of that equity ownership. And I had came from a smaller firm before where I felt very comfortable and I enjoyed the lifestyle there and the culture. The big firm was just more of an opportunistic jump during our time that we're currently in with all the, people moving around.
So what happens next time there's an opportunity?
So
you need to decide who you want to be. Are you an opportunist, or do you want to work for 100-person firms where the soul of the place shows?
Yeah, I mean, that's part of where I'm going towards, and I think I really enjoy the culture of a smaller firm, but a 50% raise would not be too bad overall, like that jump. But then the loyalist side of me is saying, hey, this other firm gave me an opportunity 5 or 6 months ago to jump in and join them. Been doing pretty well there. But, considering my family and everything like that, is burning some bridges worth a 50% raise at that point. So I'm kind of emotionally tied to the new firm, I would say heavily. And also just the loyal side of me doesn't want to do it either. But I know it's a great opportunity.
Okay. Yeah, I think you needed to redefine what happiness is. You think it's a paycheck, and I don't. So it's not loyalty. I think you're going to spend your whole life jumping, as long as you define it based on the raise that you're being offered, because some moron's always going to offer you a raise. And then all you're going to be is a jumping bean every time there's a raise, if that's the definition of winning. And so I want the definition of winning for you to be broader than just the paycheck. If you redefine winning and it encompasses your new definition of winning, which is the soul of the organization, I want to actually have human beings and not be living in a corporate garbage mess hole, which some of the big firms are. And they've got all this politically correct garbage going on instead of actually getting their work done and that kind of stuff. And you don't want to be in that environment anymore. And you get a raise, then the next time corporate America comes knocking and wants to just give you money but put you back into a septic tank, then you won't answer that call. So, in other words, if you take this, I want you to redefine winning to where if someone calls and says, hey, we're going to give you $175 at a 2,000 person firm, you're going to say no thanks.
Yeah, I mean, when thinking about this process and going to the stuff with them recently, if I was given the same opportunity, say same salary, I'd probably end up going with a smaller firm. But just the loyal side of me just feels disgusted leaving that quickly. Yeah, I guess that's my biggest thing personally.
Yeah, I don't mind personally. I don't mind you leaving quickly. That doesn't bother me. You just go in and go, this is awkward. These guys came in and offered me 50%. I'm not even going to ask you off of that. That's insulting, and so I've accepted the job, and I'm so sorry. And, this is what we're doing.
With 6,000 people, they will replace you, and eventually they'll go, oh, yeah, that guy used to work here.
In about an hour. They won't notice you're gone. It's really not that big a deal. But I think the most important thing is you define what is inside of you, what winning looks like.
You want to sink your teeth into.
You don't just repeat this process over and over and over again.
Yeah.
It's a hollow process if you're only defining it on the paycheck. You need a broader definition than that. This is The Ramsey Show.
Hey guys, I want to share something exciting our team has been working on for well over a year. We've built a brand new debit card that helps you spend and save the Ramsey way. It's called Gazelle. The Gazelle debit card works the same as your standard debit card with the same FDIC protections provided by our bank partner, Pathward, NA, member FDIC. With Gazelle, your privacy is important. We won't sell your personal information, which means you won't have debt pushed on you. Imagine not having an inbox full of credit card offers coming at you every week. The Gazelle debit card eliminates these distractions and helps you attack your money goals fast. Plus, it offers benefits others don't, like no monthly fees and a seamless connection with every dollar. And did I mention we won't push debt on you? Guys, your money is your money. You work hard. You're Gazelle intense. And now your debit card is too. Get the Gazelle debit card and take control of your money for good. Go to RamseySolutions.com/Gazelle to sign up. That's RamseySolutions.com/Gazelle.
Well, we just got back from a sold-out Smart Conference event in Dallas, Texas this weekend. The house was packed with thousands of people. It was amazing. Our live events have been epic this fall. Each one has been a sellout. Coming up here in November, we're going to be running around all over the place with sold-out events in San Antonio, Minneapolis, and Sacramento. And last week, we announced the Spring Building Wealth Live Tour. Tickets are selling very fast. We sold out of the VIP tickets in Indianapolis and Anaheim within 48 hours.
Wow.
Our Building Wealth Live events walk you through a simple but proven plan that will help you save money, build wealth, make smart decisions in this weird, crazy economy. And despite what the news and the internet says, it is possible. Rachel Cruz, Ken Coleman, Dr. John Deloney, the George Camel sitting to my right for a night of hope with me. And we're going to teach you about what normal is and how you don't want to be normal, but a way to function in this crazy world. Indianapolis is February 16th. Austin is February 23rd. And Anaheim is May the 2nd. Tickets start at $39. The VIPs always sell out fast, super fast, and the Platinum sell out even faster. You won't want to wait. Go ahead and get your tickets at RamseySolutions.com/tickets. Our question today comes from Blinds.com. Find out for yourself why Blinds.com is the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings. Free samples, free shipping, new promos all the time. You'll save even more. Use the promo code Ramsey to get the best possible deal.
Today's question comes from Thomas in Virginia. I'm in the early stages of becoming a first-time home buyer, and I was wondering if taking out 2 loans from separate entities is possible. For example, if I'm buying a $200,000 house and a family friend says they'll give me a $100,000 loan at a 3% interest rate, would I still be able to qualify for an FHA loan on the other $100,000 from the bank? If this is possible, how does this work? Oof. Well, aside from it being a bad idea, it may be possible. We don't know a lot of the details of this person's life, their income, their debt-to-income ratio. but I would not be doing any of this.
Yeah. Number one, we wouldn't do an FHA. We'd do a conventional loan because they're cheaper. Interest rate and fees. Number two, I don't borrow money from family friends because that's a good way for them to no longer be a family friend. And so wouldn't do that for that reason. Let's say you were going to execute it anyway, technically, tactically. How do you do that? Well, you have to disclose the whole process to the lender. And so the lender has to understand that you are borrowing money, in addition to that the $100,000 you're putting down as a down payment is not a real down payment. It's borrowed money as well. Not disclosing that to the lender that's making the first mortgage loan is called fraud, criminal fraud, because you induce them to give you money without giving them accurate information by lying to them. And so people do this stuff in real estate business all the time, and they don't realize it's like go to jail, do not pass go, do not collect $200 stuff. Now, here's the problem, okay? A conventional loan's only going to take a first position, meaning first mortgage position. That means your family friend is in second position. So let's say the world's worst catastrophe happened, and there was a car wreck and you were unable to work for 10 years, and therefore you're unable to pay either one of these mortgages. The first mortgage will foreclose. When they foreclose, the second mortgage holder, your family friend, to protect their $100,000 loan, they have to write another $100,000 check and buy out the foreclosure. Otherwise, when the first mortgage forecloses, they lose their position in the house. It wipes it out. All mortgages behind the first mortgage or behind the mortgage foreclosing, if it's a second mortgage and there's a third mortgage, are wiped out by the previous mortgage foreclosing. And so the only way for him to protect himself is to come out of pocket again for some more money. Well, that'll never happen. You're talking to people who have done this for 30 years. It happens all the time. You're talking to cancer doctors. We know what causes cancer, okay? And we know what causes stupid, and this is stupid. You're going to get yourself in a pinch. You're going to get your family friend in a pinch. Unforeseen things are going to happen. Things you don't think are going to happen are going to come up. He's going to get in a problem and need his money and come knocking on your door and want his money right now. Something's going to come up, and you're going to be a caller on this show looking like you did something doofus because you did something doofus. Don't do this. Was I unclear?
Pretty clear to me, Dave.
Okay.
Clear as mud.
Didn't want to be unclear.
But that is a scary situation. It sounds like you're not ready to be a home buyer, and that's okay. But
well,
take
you're
your
just trying to get a lower interest rate. The guy's trying to get 3% on his money, and the guy making the loan, and he's trying to get a lower interest rate on his mortgage. And both of those are good motivations. But what neither one of them thought through is all your worst case scenarios. And the only time debt works is when debt works, and all the rest of the time, when everything works perfect, it works. But all the rest of the time, which is all the time, it doesn't work. It always ends up coming back and biting you.
But in your head and on paper, you go, this is an amazing plan. I'm a genius.
Yeah, you get bit in your assumptions is what happens. And, when you get bit in the assumptions, it hurts. It hurts. It leaves a mark. All right, Donald is with us in Spokane, Washington. Hey, Donald, what's up?
Good afternoon, Dave. Got a retirement question for you.
Okay.
Retiring from the Air National Guard, 34 years, and I also have a technician job. It's a GS with the Air National Guard. Those go together. I retire from both of those next month.
Wow.
They have an automatic survivor benefit that's selected for you. You pay 10% of your retirement. For me, $140 a month. If I pass away, my wife gets 50% of my retirement, which is $700 a month. The bad news is if I was to cancel that, because that sounds like a horrible insurance policy, if I cancel it, she would no longer get her health insurance if I was to pass away. There's also an option of getting paying a 5%, and then she gets 25% of my retirement. So I'd be paying $350 a month, or my wife would be, and then she gets her retirement with that. What other options are there? It sounds like a horrible insurance policy that I'm getting pushed into.
Yeah. You're right. You're actually buying health insurance is what you're buying. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, in a sense, that's what's pushing it.
Correct. And then I have to add another $140 a month to my health insurance.
How much is the health insurance?
For just her, it would end up being about $225 a month. We currently pay for the $450 a month. But if I pass away, then that goes down. Obviously,
goes in half, and she can buy health insurance for the rest of her life. Is the health insurance good?
Very good, actually.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I would do it just for the health insurance.
Okay.
The
other dynamic is I'm working with Xander Insurance and trying to get new life insurance because I'm losing the servicemen's group life insurance with the military, and so switching over with them. They're very easy to work with, so 2 pluses there.
Good, thank you for your service, man.
Yeah,
I appreciate it. But yeah, that's you're right. It's just a government program, and you're boxed in. But I would just look at it as you're buying guaranteed life health insurance is quality health insurance, you're saying, for the rest of your life, for your wife, and for the rest of her life. And so, or the opportunity to buy it.
Because at their ages, getting it in the marketplace could be
it'd be a lot
expensive.
more. But, if he told me it was $1,250 a month, then I would be going, then why are we doing this? But $250 a month, that sounds like a serious bargain,
reasonable.
So that's, it's end up being that you've gotten a good benefit tied with a not so good benefit, but they're tied. So there you go.
It's a wash.
Karen's with us in New York. Hi, Karen. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, guys.
Hey.
So my question is, I'm a long-time listener, so I think I know what you'll tell me to do, but I wanted to check. I want to know if I should pay off an RV in 2 years by doing a snowball on it. I have a payment on it.
What's it worth?
Or pay some stupid tax.
What's it worth?
My loan is at maybe $90,000.
What do you make a year?
My loan is $120.
Yeah, I would sell it.
That's a lot of RV.
You have too much tied up in things going down in value, and RVs go down in value worse than just about anything. They're horrible on holding value. So you got to be able to just choke that amount of money is what it amounts to. It's like buying a boat, same thing. This is the Ramsey Show.
We were drawn to Christian Healthcare Ministries because we both had young families and we wanted to have more children. And we had also just started a real estate company and needed to find healthcare coverage that would meet our needs. We were attracted to CHM because of its low monthly costs and the ability to negotiate medical costs down.
Established in 1981 and accredited by the Better Business Bureau, CHM is here to meet the needs of your growing family or small business. Check us out at chministries.org/budget.
We absolutely believe in it.
Thank you for joining us, America. George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today in the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage. Caleb and Samantha are with us. Hey, guys, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Better than I deserve. Welcome.
Heck yeah.
Where do you guys live?
We are from Canton, which is about 40 minutes north of Atlanta.
Yeah. Welcome to Nashville. Good to have you guys. All right. How much debt have you paid off?
About $60,000.
Very good. And your range of income during that time? I'm sorry, how long did that take?
Took about a year.
1 year. And your range of income during that time?
We started around 80, and then we jumped up to somewhere between 140 and 145.
Okay, very good. Very cool. Good for you guys. Excellent. What kind of debt was the $60,000?
Man, everything. The bulk of it, about 30 grand, was a car. That kind of kickstarted this, but 5 or 6 credit cards, a plumbing bill that from a house that we didn't even live at anymore, and then another huge chunk was student loans.
So you're just kind of collecting debt.
Yeah, it was a really good habit we developed. It was fun.
There's no prize at the end, unfortunately.
No, interest. Yeah, interest. That was the prize that we really won.
How long you guys been married?
I
Almost 5 years.
Yeah, 5
All
years
right.
to 28th.
Okay, so what happened a year and some change ago that gave you the wake-up call, and you start on this process, and 1 year later, boom, you're done?
Yeah, so I had heard about you growing up a little bit. I just knew you as the debt guy, get out of debt, get out of debt. Heard you speak. We went to a North Point satellite church, an Andy Stanley church, and heard you speak. And I told her, I can remember it vividly, before we got married, I said, yeah, it's real easy to pay $200 on a tip when you make millions. Wow, yeah, no way we could ever do that. So anyways, long story short, we had found out we were pregnant in about February of 20. Is that right? February 20 with
Lorelai?
February of 21, actually. And so it was really just pulling teeth. We grew up very differently with money. I saved every penny. Some call it financial trauma. I call it being frugal. But saved every penny. She spent a lot. And so it was literally just pulling back and forth. Just
Whose car was the $30,000 car?
This one's right
Okay.
here.
All right. What kind of car was it?
It's a Kia Sorento.
Oh, yeah.
21
Nice.
Kia
Good
Sorento,
car.
yeah.
Good car. Okay.
So in that time, after we found out we were having our second baby, we said, you know what, great idea. Let's do a cash out refinance. It makes sense. We can upgrade the home, do everything good, everything great. This is going to be awesome. Well, it took way longer than what it was supposed to. They said my debt to income was ridiculous, and
because it was
very ridiculous, and it wasn't working. Well, we got to the point. They said it'd take 21 days. Took like 3 months. I was telling her, I said, is this God telling me we shouldn't do this? I don't know. And we just kept struggling with debt. Our bank account just kept going lower and lower and lower, no matter how much more I worked and worked and worked. And eventually the day came where I was supposed to sign the papers for the cash out refinance. The guy just didn't show up. So I call, I said, hey, what's going on? I was supposed to sign it. He says, hey, let me call you back. He calls me back. He says, I have no idea what happened. I don't know what's going on. We can't figure it out. We don't know. I know I showed up. And I've been praying about this, like, is this the right move? And the more I prayed, I got the word peace. I said, we need peace in our finances, like only God can give us. We need that peace. And I had never heard about Financial Peace University, so I Google, financial peace. And Financial Peace University, of course,
Who knew?
comes
It was
up.
our brand.
Yeah, what a wild thought. And so I went through that in the 2-week free trial. Of course, I didn't pay for it because I'm so frugal. Went through that, told her about it. Basically, a total transformation in our ideas of money. And she, made sense to her. I said, hey, this is the last straw with money. We either do this or we don't do anything.
Wow. So God's providence helped you dodge the cash out refi.
Without a doubt.
That's amazing. One more bad decision avoided there.
Oh, so
that's incredible.
Yeah, and so we just we killed it from there. It's I'm a police officer in Metro Atlanta, and I actually with part-times, you get hired to be security for hotels, security for apartment complexes. I actually work Braves games, work for the Braves, and I just killed it. I was making $65, $75, $80 an hour,
Wow.
double, triple my income. And I said, hey, you stay home with the kids. I'll see you in about a year. We're just gonna wipe out this debt, and that's basically how we did it.
Yeah.
You just took every gig you could get.
Man. Yeah,
that's incredible.
Till 4
So
in the
Samantha,
morning.
you had the hardest job.
Yeah, it was rough. I mean, I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom at first. With our first. With
You
Lorelai.
just didn't want to be a single mom.
And I said, I'm a single married parent.
Oh, yeah.
And
That's exactly
that was rough.
right.
And then he told me that we weren't getting any. Someone else totaled my car with me in it a year before we got a new car. So I was driving his truck. It was not safe. It was not great.
Debatable. She said it wasn't safe. It was usable, but not as usable. So I guess part of the story is we didn't do the cash out refi. I said, well, we got to do this financial peace part. But in between that, we got a great interest rate from our bank. They said, hey, we give you a great interest rate if you pay for this car and buy this car. So I thought, okay, I guess we got to buy this car. And they gave a really broke person $32,000 to go pay for a car.
Sounds like a bank.
Confused me really bad. Really a lot of confusion there. I was real confused by that. That's kind of what made me think financial peace and kick it off too. So.
Well, yeah, but he wouldn't let me get a car until I got a job. So then I went from that to working and staying with the kids. And my mom lives next door, so she helped with the kids. It was just a really crazy year.
Yeah, it sounds like it's over the top. Was it worth it?
Oh,
absolutely.
Amen. Yeah, amen, without a doubt. And there were times in that year coming home at 3 and 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning from working, sometimes a regular shift, sometimes extra jobs I'd picked up. I It was tough, and at one point I thought about giving up, and she, I had to kind of put her on board with it. I kind of had the thoughts at first, and she said, no, what are you talking about? We're almost done with this. This was your idea, and you're going to give up at this? This makes no sense.
She called you out.
Yeah, really, she really did. And I was listening to a show one time, one of your shows, and you said you were talking to a guy. He said, I don't know what to do. He was desolate, basically. You said, you're at a point where you're a little tired, a little pissed off, and you're ready to get going. And I said, that's where I am right now. I'm still pissed off at the poor decisions I made, and I got to keep going. $60,000 isn't, in comparison to a lot of debt-free streams, it isn't too drastic, but it was a mountain that overtook me. I couldn't sleep at night thinking about this money that I just owed to people. I couldn't. It was tough.
And really, what it was, that part of that was half of that was that one car decision. Mm-hmm. And you were just the regret from that was on the back of your tongue.
Oh yeah, and I just sat there and I thought, how do you give a broke man $30,000? This makes no sense. Why is the bank making this?
How does a broke man sign up?
That's a good question.
$30,000.
Yeah, I shouldn't deflect. This is a little bit.
Well, you guys decided to sacrifice for a short period of time intensely so that you could win long term. Most people would just live in mediocrity for 30 years, and so I'm so proud of you guys for doing that.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You're amazing. Congratulations. Very well done. I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm glad you did it. Are you ever going to go back in debt?
No. We the piece of paper that we wrote our debt snowball on, I burned it when we finished. So that's my answer to that.
Lock it down, baby. I love it. Very cool. Very cool. And the babies, bring them up. What are their names and ages?
This is Layton. She is going to be 1 tomorrow. And this is Lorelai. She's going to be 3.
Oh, beautiful.
And I'll tell you just one more quick thing. The key to this is what our friend Anthony O'Neill says is your why's got to make you cry. Like, it's got to hurt. Like, I grew up, houses foreclosed on, bills weren't paid, water shut off, electricity shut off.
But not these two.
No, never again.
You changed your family tree, man.
Amen to that. Yes, sir.
Well
Absolutely.
done. Hey, we got the Live and Give bundle for you. It includes the Baby Steps Millionaires book, the Total Money Makeover book, and a 1-year membership to Financial Peace. So you can use that or give it away to somebody and get them started on the journey you guys did. So very well done. Very proud of you. Caleb and Samantha, Lorelai and Layton, Atlanta. $60,000 paid off in 1 year, making $80,000 to $145,000. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1.
We're debt-free! That's how it's done.
George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Canada is on the line. Maggie is calling. Hi, Maggie. How are you?
Hi. Good, Dave. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up in your world?
Well, Dave, I'd like to liquidate my portfolio and be able to put it. I want to trade with cryptocurrency, and I just want your opinion.
Do you listen to this show?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
What are you currently invested in?
I have an investment account, I have TSFA, and I have a RIF account.
And what has caused you to go, hey, you know what? I'm going to trade all of that to go into crypto?
Because I'm losing in my portfolio drastically this year. And I just know that I don't believe I'm going to come back, for a long time.
I mean, they say it'll come back, but I think it's not going to come back for 10 years. And I'm already 72. So I just feel like, and I've also have experienced, like it's not like I have been doing crypto trading now for a while.
Have you seen the crypto market?
Satisfied.
It's a lot darker than the stock market. You're trading a paper cut for a stab.
Well, I've made money in the crypto market.
How much?
Probably about $10,000.
Is that enough to retire on?
No.
What's in your
But
investments currently?
But I've also picked contracts that have been lower, definitely, because I haven't had that much money to do anything with.
At your age, I'm not going to go to Vegas and just put it all on black and hope for the best. That's not a great retirement plan. That worries me.
Okay. Let's back up. Let's back up a second, okay?
It worries.
You're scared because your good investments went down. And right about the time I get desperate and scared is the step before I get really stupid. Desperate people and highly greedy people make the worst financial mistakes. And your fear is making you do statistically, or suggesting that you do statistically, the equivalent of putting this money on a roulette wheel or a hand of poker. Because crypto is extremely volatile, extremely risky, at least 100 times more risky than your current retirement portfolio. At least. And you're telling me, I put money in the slot machine and I came out with more money than I put in.
Well, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it myself. I have a trader that's helping me, so I never close my market in a negative position. It's always in a positive position in crypto.
Okay. Well, Maggie, you do what you want. I'm 62. My net worth is hundreds of millions of dollars, and I have precisely zero in crypto.
Right.
And I'm not desperate, and I'm not scared.
Warren Buffett said.
And you have the idea that you have a trader doing it for you scares me for you even more, because this is giving you false confidence. A, you've had some wins. B, you have someone whispering in your ear how wonderful they are and how they are going to take care of you, which is how people that are 72 years old lose everything they own. This is how it happens. Okay? Please don't do this. But I don't think that the decision is really up in the air. I think you've already made your decision.
And if I told Maggie, hey, 2 years from now, your money's going to be back to where it was in your retirement account, I don't know that she would do it, but it's hard to see that far out ahead when you just see your accounts bleeding out. And so you just want to do anything to not be doing that.
One of the wealthiest men in the world says, be greedy when others are cautious and cautious when others are greedy. And that's Warren Buffett. And he doesn't mean greedy like being a bad person, a lack of character greedy. He means be aggressive when others are cautious and cautious when others are aggressive. And crypto is no place to play with money that you can't afford to lose. And you're going to lose it. And then you're going to call me back and say, well, I had this guy who made me, he's singing a siren song. And I sure hope you don't do it, honey. I sure hope you don't do it.
It sounds like this trader's probably telling her, hey, you should liquidate and give me all your money.
This trader is he's talked her up big time. He's buttered her bread. And this guy's a freaking con artist. He's a crypto con man.
Well, we've also have the quote from Warren Buffett saying he wouldn't pay $25 for all of the Bitcoin in the world.
Yeah. And I think he's got more money than me, you, and your trader put together. So, and I don't disagree with that at all. So it's just an extremely volatile market, and that's being kind. It's crazy is what it is. But I don't have any money in it, and there's a reason. Crypto is way more down. Well, how much is it down, George? Do you know?
I mean, it depends on what coin. I mean, a lot of them went bankrupt. There's fraud. There's scams. 97%.
Oh, and by the way, too, Maggie, the number of people the number of dollars lost, not in Bitcoin or not in crypto, but in fraud associated with crypto, is what?
I mean, in the billions.
Billions. It's $2.5 billion at this point have been lost to
Sad.
And let me tell you who the number one target of that type of fraud and con is. People over 65. People that are desperate and scared.
Empty promises.
And so I'm not saying your trader is a con artist. I'm just saying there's a higher probability that he's a con artist than if he was in any other business, because of the number of crypto con artists that are out there. People that are, this thing is drawn the worst of the worst. And so you can do what you want to do, but you made the mistake of calling here and asking, and we will give you our opinion, and we are experts on our opinion. Jessica is in Michigan. Hi, Jessica. What's up?
Hi, my name is Jessica, and I am 37 years old, and I'm a single mom of two. And my question is how do I get the momentum to, I'm on baby step number 1. I am about $17,000 in debt between student loans. My car's completely paid off, but I'm just trying to get momentum into getting that cash saved up for baby step number 1, because I always try to validate my purchases. And I'm just trying to find a way to get the momentum to stop validating these
what's your
purchases. Income? Right now, I make about a little over $38 a year.
Okay. All right.
What has caused you to want to do this plan in the first place?
I have been listening to Dave Ramsey off and on for about, about 11 years. But I've really jumped into it more in the last couple of months, wanting to change my family tree. I come from a family where we've all not been so great with money, and my dad actually died.
I'll tell you how I did it, Jessica, as a fellow spender.
Yeah.
I looked at my kids. They were babies, and we were broke because of my stupidity.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. And every time I got ready to spend, I would ask myself, if I had to not spend this money so that I had the money to save the life of my child, could I do it? Could I find the discipline? And that was an easy answer, of course. And so I did stuff like I would practice going to Costco and buying nothing and walking out. And that was like a breakthrough for me. Because I truly thought that if you went to Sam's or Costco, that they check your receipt on the way out, that it was federal law that you had to spend $200 or you couldn't get out. They wouldn't let you out. That's why they check it. And I was that guy. And so I kind of had to equate it with the life of my children, which is a bit melodramatic, but it's also kind of true, because you want to change your family tree, you said.
Yeah. What does 40-year-old Jessica want to look back on and say, man, I'm so glad Jessica made those decisions? And if that means, taking away your debit card information from every website that you have, hiding it, having accountability with a friend, do whatever it takes.
I would think if you've got a spending problem that Amazon Prime's not even a possibility.
I'm cutting that out of my life.
You got to turn it off. If you got a spending problem, if you're trying to say, no, I'm not going to spend. Because, that's just so easy. It's easy for me, and I teach this stuff for a living. So you just got to equate it with a big why. And you got to be sick and tired of being sick and tired. And then gradually you'll reform your character. This is The Ramsey Show. Dave here. You can find all of our shows with the Ramsey Network app on your smartphone. It's the only place to listen to the entire back catalog of episodes. Download the Ramsey Network app in your favorite app store today. From the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studio, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. We help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. The number is open phones at 888-825-5225. So, George, a couple of months ago, we did a huge, millions and millions of people watched live stream for free called the Real Estate Reality Check. We addressed several things in that hour, and we don't have time to address them all right now. But a lot of people were predicting 2008 again, that real estate prices were going to absolutely tank. We said they are not going to tank because there is a pool of buyers that is much larger than the pool of sellers still, and the supply-demand curve will maintain the prices, meaning when you have a whole bunch of people trying to buy a few things, it holds prices up. It's that simple. When there's a scarcity, prices go up or at least are maintained at a minimum. And we said, of course, the exception to that is the areas where people are leaving en masse, and we showed a map of the number of people that have left New York and left California and have left some of the high crime cities and crazy politics of all kinds, defund the police or whatever else cities. And so and we said so far, though, even those areas, California, New York, Seattle, Portland, have not seen decreases in real estate values. That was about 3 months ago. Reports are coming out right now. We just got one dropped on the desk. Western U.S. continues to lead in home price declines. So now California is seeing the mass exodus of California starting to affect pricing there in some of the areas. San Francisco's taken some real hits.
3.4%.
Of the top
decrease.
100 cities, the city that has taken the largest drop in price declines so far is Seattle. High crime situation with the anarchists taking down the entire downtown area and have made it impossible to function economically in that beautiful downtown area of Seattle. It's a gorgeous city, or it was. And the lack of law and order always screws up economics. When you can't operate because people steal all your stuff or burn it, it's very difficult to run a business. It's kind of basic, common sense stuff. And so these areas are getting hammered. Their home appreciation values dropping like crazy. Meantime, Louisville, Birmingham, southern cities in Texas, southeast are going up in value. During the time some of you predicted that, Dave Ramsey, this isn't going to age well. It's going to be 2008 again. The entire thing's going to crash. And I kept telling you, no, here's the numbers. It's not going to crash. And so we're here to tell you the numbers are coming out, and we told you so.
Yeah, this is real data. And we used data last time, too. And we're just using the newest data that's showing that it's a different time, and it's not all down. Some areas are going up, some areas are going down. And there are winners and losers, another article states. And yes, those that got houses when the interest rates were super low are cheering for themselves. But those that want to get into a house, it's not too late for you either, because the competition has slowed down.
Well, here's what happened. We had this huge increase in 20, record house price increase. In 21, 18% up, right? 29% up in 20. And then we said, 22 is going to be 7 or 8% up, which appears to be holding nationally. Now, locally, we've had some areas that are down 5% or down 10%. We've got other areas that are up 5%, but it seems to be that we're going to be in the 5 to 7% by year end. That prediction was made by other people, but the data that we had seemed to support it, and we went with that, and it looks like that's going to be about true. In 2023, we said is going to return to normal price increases in homes of 2 to 5%, and the data is still indicating that that's what's going to happen. All of this to say that you're watching the news, and you know the inflation is horrible, the worst inflationary economy in 40 years right now. And you're going to the polls in a week, or you're going to the polls I'm going today to early vote, make sure I, do what I can to correct this. You're fired. That's the message. And so, you can't run something. You don't get to run it anymore. That includes the country. Okay, but all of that aside, the thing that's happening with real estate is interest rates have gone way up. They're bumping up
almost
close to 7% now on a 30-year fixed, up from the 3s. And 7% in the scope of a life as long as mine is very low. I remember lots of years selling real estate, 11, 12%, 10%, 9%. Lots of years I was on the radio, it was 10%. When I started this show, it was 10%. And so then it came down to 6, and we thought we were in nirvana. But then when it goes to 3 and it goes up to 7, see, 7's not good as compared to 3, but it's really good compared to 12. So it's an emotional thing. So here's what I'm telling you. The other article we got was from Bloomberg. It talks about the people that have bought homes, their values are continuing to go up, especially if you bought like in Austin, Texas, Nashville, Tennessee. You bought in these areas, Dallas, Texas. You're buying in Phoenix, Arizona. Have they gone down a little bit in some of those areas in the last 4 or 5 months? Yeah, a little bit.
Well, asking prices too.
And this price asking, because some of them had really gone crazy up. And so it's settling, but it's not diving, it's not crashing. And what's happening is these people that bought are going to become inordinately more wealthy over the next 3 years than people who rented, because rents are also going through the roof. And so rents are sucking the disposable income out of the renter's budget, where when you buy, because guess what happens to rents? Every year they go up, just about. Almost every single year rents go up. When you buy a house at 6% or 7%,
your mortgage
it
stays the same.
It doesn't go up. You're locking in one of your largest expenses, and the value of the property is going up because it's not crashing. Unless you're in one of those areas we mentioned, right? It's not crashing. Overall, we don't have a 2008 situation, and you're going to become wealth inequality based on home ownership is going to be more and more of a thing. And so what all that is to say is, if you haven't bought a house and you're thinking about buying a house and you're sitting on the sidelines waiting on interest rates to come down, they're not going to come down in any minute. And waiting on house prices to come down, they're not going to come down. They're going to go up. You need to go buy a freaking house right now. It's a great time to buy a house because there's not a line of people around the block trying to buy that house right this second. You're not going to steal it. And if you're getting ready to sell a house, you need to have the expectation it's going to take you 90 days to sell a house right now, like it has most of the time in the history of real estate. Most of the time in the history of real estate, that's how it's gone. And so you need to have a 90-day expectation on selling and negotiating on your price. That's normal. And if you're thinking about buying, you ought to go buy right now.
And like we said, a real estate reality check, you can always refi later when the rates come back down.
Yeah. And if they come back down to 3, and they might, sure hope they do, that'd be wonderful, then refinance and get rid of that higher mortgage, but you locked in the price of the house. If you're looking for ways to update your home without blowing the budget, I've got it. For years, I've been telling you about our friends at Blinds.com. Blinds.com makes it simple to shop top quality blinds, shades, and interior shutters from home with easy online ordering and free shipping. With Blinds.com, there's no need to renovate your entire home. Just change out what's on your windows with upscale choices like faux wood blinds, cellular, and roller shades, or even outdoor shades. Plus, Blinds.com guarantees the perfect fit, whether you do it yourself or you have them measure and install everything for you. Shop their latest looks and see how much you can save at Blinds.com today. The easy and affordable way to make your home more beautiful is Blinds.com. George Camel and I co-hosting today. He's a Ramsey personality. We are wearing our matching Gazelle hoodies because today is the launch day for the new Ramsey Gazelle debit card. No fees. You gotta love this thing. It's man, it does everything the Ramsey way. And we're not going to lead you into debt with it. So this is not a SoFi commercial.
And seamless integration with EveryDollar, which is so cool.
I think that's important. Hey, the government's planning to hand out more Biden bucks, maybe in the form of forgiven student loans, maybe not. But if that forgiveness won't wipe out all your student loan debt, this is your wake-up call, because payments are coming back, and they're going to smack you in the face when they do. Don't wait on the government to fix your life. Financial Peace University can take care of you. We're going to show you how to handle money. Then you are the captain of your own ship destiny, rather than waiting on the government to be in charge of your life. It's the proven plan to pay off all your debts, including your student loans, in just a couple of years, not decades. And we've watched millions and millions of people do this, and they feel like they got their lives back. You can do it. Kick Sally Mae out of the house. Get out from under those stupid loans. Start Financial Peace University right now. RamseySolutions.com/FPU. RamseySolutions.com/FPU. Tanis is with us in Canada. Hi, Tanis. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Okay, so I am kind of on baby step number 1. I've been also I thought I was on 2, but it turns out I'm back on 1. So I had some money put away, and my savings were okay. And so I made a lump sum payment on my student loans, which was great. But now, after a couple things happened, now I'm kind of back at square one, but I just feel like every paycheck I'm reaching more into my emergency fund, because it's like I'm always behind. In each paycheck I'm catching up from something I missed the previous 2 weeks, and I can't get ahead.
What's causing you to be in the hole right now? Which expenses is it?
My student loan payments are killer.
So what's your income?
It kind of varies. So I'm on salary for the first time in my life too, which is very different for me. So salary is $3,000 a month, and then I might make another $1,000 with just the extra work that I've been doing. But that varies again, so it just depends on kind of what's available.
And then what's your minimum payments on all of your debts?
My minimum payments for my student loans is $650 a month. And then I have a $200 car insurance payment. My rent is $800. And then I'm trying to think, I have tenant insurance. That's only $50 a month. But the small things are really adding up too.
Well, the student loans alone are not draining you.
How old are you?
I'm 25. I just turned 25.
Okay. All right. And good. All right. Well, here's the thing. It sounds like, A, you just started this process, and B, it sounds like when you write down your budget that it's more like a wish or a suggestion.
Well, yeah. So what I did is I went through all my statements from the last 3 or 4 months, and I went through everything that I can't change right now, my student loan payments, my gas, that kind of stuff. Right. And I wrote that all down as mandatory payments, and then everything else I broke up into, are they needs or are they wants? And so even when I do that on paper, it's I only have $200 to $300 in between each paycheck, and then something comes up, if that makes sense. Because I know it takes time.
Yeah, you're doing the budget wrong. Okay.
Okay.
Because you shouldn't have any money left on your budget. You should have it all. Every dollar should have a name before the month begins. So I want you to pan back and say, I got $3,000. And if you don't have $3,000, you need to get $3,000. In other words, if that $1,000 gig doesn't kick in, then you got to work an extra job and make sure you at least have $3,000. All right. Now, then I want you to write down your mandatories. You got the 800, you got the 200, you got the different mandatories, like you said, that are in there. I want you to give all of those dollars a name on that budget and decide which paycheck each one's coming out of. Yeah. Before the month begins, I want you to completely plan out how you're going to pay your bills. And that includes, if you have money that is a want that's left over, then you're going to plug it in as a want. If you have money that's a need, a mandatory, you're going to plug it in as that. But if you have $3,000 come in and you have planned to spend $3,000 exactly, and you spend it exactly as you had planned, you're not going to have a crisis. Agreed?
Yeah.
But what's happening is that some friend calls and goes, let's go out for drinks.
Right.
Yeah, that's exactly.
And then I just see leftover money and think it's spendable income.
Yeah, because it's left over. And instead, if you said, I have this much allocated for social, for happy hour, I got $50 allocated for happy hour, and you did that last week, then the friend calls, you got to say no. But you don't have anything that gives you a no button. All you've got is yes buttons. Right. And your yes buttons are blowing up the whole thing.
But I feel like I'm saying no to everything. Like I feel
you're
like
not.
That's why I feel
no, you're not. You're just whining.
Desperate.
You're not. You're just whining. You're just whining.
That's probably fair. Yeah.
Yeah. You're not saying no to enough. That's why you're in crisis.
Right.
Are you working extra on top of your full-time job?
Yeah, like I work like 10 to 12-hour days depending on the day.
Okay.
But for the same salary? I'm saying, do you have extra jobs? Side hustles?
Yeah. So my salary, I teach group fitness classes on top of my salary job, and so
what do they
I'll take
pay?
as many classes as I can.
What's that pay?
Up to $55 an hour. So
oh, that's good.
It just depends on how many people show up, and it takes time for people to come to your classes more. And I have been getting more. So
you get $55 an hour.
Yeah, if the class is full right now, I'm averaging 45.
Okay, that's pretty good.
It just depends on how many classes are available. Yeah, so
you're not making that. You're not making that at your day job.
No, that's I don't know if I should quit my day job.
No. You need the money right now. We don't need to quit anything. We need to do more. But it sounds to me like what I would do is try to do 40 hours worth of fitness work.
Right.
You'll be tired, but you'll be fit.
Yeah.
And you won't have been going out drinking. You will have been getting fit and making $45 an hour, and you would have cleaned up this mess.
Right.
What's your total debt?
$60,000 in student loans purely. I don't have any credit cards, and I don't have a car payment or anything.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Okay, we're going to ship you a copy of the book, The Total Money Makeover, and show you exactly how to do this. What I have figured out is the madder I get about my situation, the more extreme I get about fixing my situation. And you're just beginning to get angry. But I just want to turn your anger up a little bit. That's kind of why I was poking at you a little bit. I want to get you mad. Even if you're mad at me, that's okay. Because I'll just be your coach. I'll be your friend that loves you enough to take the blows, okay? So I want you to go win, girl. And you're smart. We're talking to you for a few minutes. You're not dumb. You haven't got any problem. But your issue is focus. And this extreme focus that comes from an extreme sacrifice that comes from a healthy level of anger is really what the recipe is. It is a bit like fitness stuff. You tell people to do stuff. There's ones that kind of care and kind of don't care. But the ones that have to lose weight or the doctor says they're going to die, they figure out a way to lose the weight. The ones that go, my pants are just tight. They don't lose weight. That's not enough. Vanity is not enough to get you to do it.
Need a bigger why.
You got to get fired up about whatever it is, whatever behavior you're doing that changes everything. And you're getting there, but you're just starting this journey. I've got real hope for you. I think a month from now, you're going to be a beast.
Oh, yeah. I remember when I was getting out of debt, Dave, when I started here and I was doing Uber. I had the Nielsen People Meter to make another $20 a month. I was eating lean cuisines, waiting for them to go 5 for $10 on sale.
Ooh, that's gross.
But it was worth it. And I will never eat a lean cuisine again, Dave.
Amen. Amen. You got to have something you'd never eat again because you had to eat it when you were broke. Broke people food.
Find that food.
Yeah, ramen noodles, tuna fish for me. I hate tuna fish. Yeah, hang on. We'll send you a copy of that book, kiddo. You call us anytime we can help. George Camel Ramsey Personality is my co-host today as we answer your questions about your life and your money. Hey, if you like this show, there's 3 things you can do to help us. One is you can subscribe to the podcast or the YouTube channel. 2 is you could leave a review on both of those. And don't leave a review unless it's 5-star, please. We don't need your 1 stars. Thank you. We need 5 stars. And you can tell people to listen, whether they're listening on radio or podcast or YouTube. Share the love. You can, in case of a podcast or something like that, you can maybe YouTube, you just forward that, share it with a friend. Literally, the link. I was listening to my friend Mike Rowe's podcast this week, and it was about jobs and about people working, and I forwarded it to Ken Coleman. I said, you need to listen to this. It's a good podcast. And so you can do the same thing for the Ramsey Show, guys. Thank you very much. Emily's with us. Emily is in Portland, Maine. Beautiful town. Hi, Emily. How are you?
Hi, Dave. How are you?
Better than we deserve. How can we help?
Hi. So me and my fiance, we're currently working on paying off the house and saving for retirement. I currently put 6% into my 401k and 8% into the employee stock program. My fiance just started a new job with a much better 401k match than my job, but he makes less a year than I do. So does my stock program contribution count towards the 15% retirement savings? And should we save more than 15% of his salary, if not all of it, in his 401k if we can live off of just my income?
When are you getting married?
Next year.
Okay, you should not combine your finances until you're married. Very dangerous. You can talk about them as if they're combined, and you can plan to combine them when you're married. But when, for instance, you pay all the bills and he puts all his money in retirement, that's combined finances. And if something happens prior to marriage, you've left him at a disadvantage. It's not fair.
Okay.
So you guys should run this like roommates, because that's what you are until you're married. Okay. And it could also actually be detrimental to your relationship until you're married. Now, once you're married, you combine everything. It's just one big lump. We'll go from there. Now, back to your original question on the retirement savings. We don't tell people to invest in single stocks for their retirement savings. That's an additional investment after you're at baby step 7 if you want to play for some other things. But I would just use mutual funds only. It's all I have done with my 401ks. And so our rule of thumb is the best thing you can do is get the match for you. Him independently, the best thing he can do is get the match. The next best thing you can do is get a Roth or turn your 401k into a Roth. And the next best thing you can do is a traditional. And so in your case, I'm just going to beef up your 401k and make it a Roth. Your 401k, they make it a Roth. Do they have Roth option?
I don't believe so. I max out at 6% and they put in 3.
Yeah, but I got to tell you, 78% of them offer Roth options, so I bet they do. You need to check on it. Okay. But if they don't do a Roth option, take the match and then do an independent Roth, and then go back and do regular 401k. I would not do your company stock as my retirement plan. It's too speculative. It's too risky.
Okay.
And here's the other thing about that plan in general. All company stock plans discount the stock price by 15%, right?
Yep.
And so people think, oh, I'm getting a deal on this stock. But if you look at your 12-month high and 12-month low, 52-week high, 52-week low on your stock, you're going to see a variance most times, of more than 15%. So you may not be getting a discount when the smoke clears because of the volatility of it. So, no, I don't play single stocks, and no, I don't do employee stock options until you've just got some extra money laying around and you want to play with it.
So to recap here, you're going to go for the match, then open a Roth IRA, max that out, and then if you're still not at 15%, go back to the 401k and finish out the 15, and then pause all of the employee stock purchase program.
And keep your finances separate until you're actually...
Absolutely.
Come home from the honeymoon, and then you combine everything at that point. That's what we would tell you to do, and that's what we've seen the best results from the millions of people that we've coached over all of these decades.
Now, if the company is gifting you stocks and you're not having to pay for it,
well, hey,
cash it out and
we'll take free stuff.
Better.
We always take free stuff.
Yeah.
Most always. Stephanie's in Oklahoma. Hi, Stephanie. How are you?
Hi, Dave. I'm well. How are you and George?
Better than we deserve. What's up in your world?
same here, because you have taught me to build up that $1,000 emergency fund. I'm getting emotional. Sorry.
Okay.
Thank you for your guidance over these years. But today I'm calling over something that is, I know a lot of people deal with. I have pet stats for my parents before when they went on vacation, and it was agreed upon a certain amount of money due to the days that they were gone. You know, it was very organized, and I explained why I was charging them then that. It's never been a question. This year, my mom and dad went again on vacation. I told them, yeah, of course I'm going to keep the dog. You know, you can pay me when you get back. For some reason, my mom has had a slip of memory, and this is not about the money. It was agreed upon in a conversation about 3 weeks ago what I was going to charge her. And I actually called and said, is Dad awake, or has he already gone to bed? She said, no, your dad's in bed. I said, well, that's unfortunate, because I wanted him to be present in this conversation. So I need to discuss with you what I'm charging you and why. So I explained to her the rates. When they were gone, their dog unexpectedly had to go to the vet. I missed out on a half shift of work. The vet is a friend of mine who waived the fee, so I saved them that much money, but I lost out on a little bit. So I explained to my mom the rate. It was not any more than it was a year ago, and she agreed upon it. Fast forward last night, we're all having dinner as a family, and my mom offers me a wallet. She says, I have this old wallet. Do you want it? It's in really good condition. I said, yeah, I'd love to have that. And to tease her, I said, you can go ahead and put that check in there as well for the dog sitting for, you know, this amount of money. She said, no, I'm not paying you that much. Anyway, I went outside. Dad's grilling the burgers. I said, Dad, this isn't going to be okay. We already had this agreement. I wish you were present for the conversation. And I said, Dad, it's not about the money. It's about the principle of the matter. And everything kind of blew up. My mom wrote me a check. I left because things were upset with my sister being there, giving her feedback and all this. My question to you is, was I wrong in telling my mom, no, you need to pay me what we agreed upon? It's a business. What did I say? I said it's a business dealing. Okay. You need to keep your word, Mom. And then she wrote me her check, and she was upset.
What was she upset about?
She said, literally, I'm not going to pay you more than what we agreed about. You can't change your mind. I said, Mom, I didn't change my mind. What are you talking about? We discussed this amount. Like, we've had a conversation about it on the phone a few weeks ago, and you agreed to it. So why are you angry? So later, after I went home, I went out, walked the dog, had some time, prayed about it, asked God to tell me, you know, what is going on here? What am I missing? I don't understand. And I called my dad later, and I said, Dad, I'm really at a loss right now. Is Mom having, like, memory problems? Is that what's going on? Or what? And he said that maybe. I don't know. But he did tell me that I didn't deal with it well when I, talked to her about it in front of my sister. I didn't mean to, stir the pot, but I'm really...
Stephanie, how much money was this?
It was $350.
I see two options. Number one, we never pet sit for them again. And number two, we just go, okay, stupid tax. I'm never doing that. Not worth ruining the family relationship.
Yeah, just call her and tell her you're going to tear up the check. It's not worth it. And then next time they call to set the pet, tell them you're not going to be able to. And because our relationship's worth more than this horrible little tiny business transaction. I'm just not going to enter into this arena again because it's not a place that I like to play. And I'm not very good at it, so I don't want to do it anymore. Scripture of the day, 2 Chronicles 15:7. But as for you, be strong and do not give up, for your work will be rewarded. Thomas Edison said, our greatest weakness lies in giving up. The most certain way to succeed is always to try just one more time. Open phones at 888-825-5225. George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Devin is with us in Cheyenne, Wyoming. Hi, Devin. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up in your world?
Oh, I just had a question for you. You know, we've been listening for a couple years, right? Started listening right after my son was born, so I thought it was time to kind of get my money right. We've been doing our budget, and I kind of realized I think I've been doing my budget wrong, and I wanted your opinion on it.
Okay. What are you doing?
So, well, I was budgeting as if we were getting paid every or getting paid twice a month, such as like 1st and 15th, 15th and 30th. But we don't. We get paid every 2 weeks, which makes that paycheck fall kind of obscurely throughout the month. So I noticed it when we're going to get paid on the 28th of this month, and I noticed I don't need a full paycheck to get through the 28th to the 31st of October.
Yeah, you have two magic months a year where you get 3 checks.
Exactly, and I didn't even notice that. So we've been eating into our emergency fund, and I didn't notice it until we started kind of going, wow, we have all this money at the beginning of the month. And then towards the end of the month, it's like, wait a minute, how are we overspending? And then I looked at the calendar. I noticed we don't get paid every twice a month. We get paid every 2 weeks, which makes that fall kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to know how to set up that budget, especially in using every dollar.
Mm-hmm.
So are you already using every dollar?
I am. We've been using it pretty consistently for the last couple of years. In fact, now after I noticed it, it seems I have it set up all the way through April.
And so have you checked out the new paycheck planning tool in there? Because I think this could really help you because it'll map out exactly when your money's going to run out.
That the paycheck planning tool is actually how I noticed that I was budgeting wrong.
That's good at least.
That's perfect. That means it did what it was supposed to do. Good. Okay. Yeah, so the concept behind all of that, including the paycheck planning tool, is this. Each and every month is unique. And you should start that month and look at that month's bills and that month's income. Because you don't have Thanksgiving in May, but you do in November, and there's a turkey involved most of the time. So that month's bills are different. You don't have Christmas except in December, hypothetically. And so
hopefully
you should only have that expense there. And, you know, in my case, I heat with gas. And so in the winter, my gas bill, my natural gas bill, is higher. In the summer, I virtually don't have one because all we have is a little bit of hot water, and there's only 2 of us in a Shih Tzu. So we don't burn a lot of hot water, not nearly like we burn to heat the house, right? So my natural gas bill is less in July than it is in December. So my July bill for that should be, my July budget should be different. Now, a lot of things don't change. Obviously, you got a house payment, car payment, that kind of stuff. They're going to stay exactly the same. Your grocery budget's going to be close. It may have a little bit of birthday difference or something like that in it. But you need to plan every month before the month begins, and that includes the income and the outgo. And so if you look up and say you got 3 checks in those 2 magic months, then you're going to plan all 3 of those checks.
Okay. So my question would be like, do you just roll the money over? So for the end of this month, like I said, we get paid on the 28th. Do we just roll that into November then?
It depends on how you want to lay out that November month. Do you want to lay out the November month using the 28th of October? If you want to call that the 1st of November in your planning, that's fine. And then, so that's going to cover my rent that's due on the 1st, that kind of stuff, because you're not going to get a check for 2 more weeks.
Exactly.
So the stuff that's due on the 1st is going to be a pinch. And so that's what planning that month out ahead of time causes you to look at that. And what you've been running, you're right, the thing you've been doing wrong is you're trying to do each month as if it was a template, and it was all exactly the same. And so what I'm trying to do is get you to do a level of customization to each month, and then the paycheck planning tool allows you to customize where those paychecks hit And so, I got to pay cable. I got to figure that out. I got to pay my light bill. I got to figure that out. And you got to put groceries in all the different in each of the paycheck periods.
And a lot of these bills, you can go in and select a different date. And so if you're realizing too much is coming out of one specific date or a few days, you can go into the website, call them, and change that date for it to come out.
The due dates, utility due dates. And the other thing you could do with some utilities is you can do budget billing, where they level it out for the year, and then once a year they even it up. Meaning if it was a little high, they'll give you a little bit of a refund or credit towards your next one, or if it's a little low, you're going to have a little higher bill for 1 month. But you can do that, some budget billing, that helps as well. But the big thing you've realized is that you were, you were not operating, you're operating on a template rather than a custom month. And the paycheck planning tool on the Every Dollar app, which is the world's best budgeting app, and it really is. It's very robust. But this new tool is really, really helpful. It's one of the most requested things we've ever had. As soon as we put it up, everybody went bananas on it. And some of you have set Every Dollar down. You need to pick it back up because you can use that paycheck planning tool. It's going to make it a whole lot easier.
And now seamless integration with the new Gazelle debit card.
Oh, good point.
There you go.
How
cool is that?
Matthew in Dallas, how are you?
Doing well, sir. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Yes, sir. I was curious. I am in a predicament, and I was wondering, should I purchase a house when it is above 25% of my income at a fixed year, 15-year before a roommate?
No.
Okay.
Because roommates don't always pay. They don't always show up. There's gaps between roommates, and you're going to get yourself in a crack. It's you buying the house, not the roommate.
Yes, sir.
But if you can commit to creating enough income with part-time side hustles to cover it and make it 25%, and then the roommate's icing on the cake, now we got a win-win.
Yes, sir.
But I wouldn't run it on roommates because how many times have you had a roommate?
3 times.
Okay. And all 3 were reliable?
Yes, sir.
Well, you got good and lucky.
Where do you find those, man? That's amazing.
Yeah, it's like renters. I mean, I've had a lot of renters over the years, and these people say, oh, well, I went to a real estate seminar, and they said the renter will pay off your investment real estate. And I said, no, they won't, because they don't always pay.
Well, this plan
they file bankruptcy.
It's suspiciously close to house hacking.
Take a COVID quarantine and decide not to pay. Oh man, what a pain in the butt. Yeah, I mean, we're really good. We very seldom have a bad tenant because we've been doing it a long time. We only get good tenants.
You know how to vet them now.
Yeah, exactly. But still, same thing with roommates would be true. He's done a good job. I'm teasing with him, but he's obviously done a good job selecting quality people to be his roommate. But I wouldn't put the piece of my finances on that line, would you?
No. And there's 2 options here: either increase the income or increase the down payment. And that means a little bit of patience. And I'm okay with that. Because when you do get into that house, you can breathe, and you're not reliant on the roommate.
Yeah. Yeah, and it changes, if you really have to have that money from them, it kind of changes the way you look at them when they walk in the front door.
Changes the relationship. You're going out again, and you haven't paid the rent yet?
Yeah. What you say? You're going to the beach. Wait. Where are you going?
Where's my money? Where's my money?
Where are you going? Wait a minute. Let's talk here for a second. Oh yeah, the money transactions do that, and so you've got to be careful. It's almost like the mom or the girl with her mom a while ago with the dogs.
Changes relationships.
It's a thing. It's a thing. And so if you need the money, it changes the whole deal dramatically, and it changes the tone by which you address these things.
Well, Dave, this might be the last day our wardrobe intersects with our Gazelle hoodies.
You suggesting I will never dress as good as you again?
I was going to suggest the opposite. I'll never be as classy as Dave Ramsey.
I know about you. It's all right.
Well, fun day celebrating the launch of the Gazelle debit card. Congratulations to you and the whole team that's been working on it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Awesome.
Very cool. That puts this hour of the Ramsey Show in the books. We'll be back with you before you know it. In the meantime, remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus.
Do you love a good Dave Rant? Want to see the latest Ramsey Show videos going viral? Check out your favorite moments from The Ramsey Show on YouTube. Go watch and subscribe to The Ramsey Show channel on YouTube.